Well, I don't think we need to tell everybody that.
No, it's okay. I have no shame. When people get sick, man. No sense in
I'm not
shaming.
sick shaming you. I'm just saying.
You are. You're sick shaming me.
Oh Lord.
Embrace my truth. Embrace my truth, Jason.
Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends and fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. Today, it is our special 100th episode redoing Nirvana. The plan was to have Ed and Joe back, along with Tim and Colquitt, have a big free-for-all, anything goes, but Ed and Joe couldn't make
Hence
it.
all the ridiculous releases.
Yep. They couldn't make it, but they did leave us a message for everyone watching. It says Nobody's Daughter by Hole is better than any Nirvana album anyway, so we're just wasting our time. So take that as you will.
Different strokes, different folks, you know?
With that, he smells like Teen Spirit, Tim. And he'll clean up before she comes, Colquitt.
I generally do.
And he don't care. He don't care if it's old. That's Jason.
So last time, it was our first episode. Sound quality was all over the place. Didn't know what we were doing. So we only
And what episode is this?
Episode 1, Nirvana.
And what episode is this?
Episode 100, Nirvana.
Bam.
We decided to throw it all in. 3 studio albums, Incesticide, a whole bunch of live records, the best of the box, the greatest hits, Wishkah, whatever, it doesn't matter. We threw it all in there. Because this
all
is
official releases.
My favorite band, and they deserve better justice than what they got. So, I guess we'll do our new color coding system. I'm just going to be biased and say they're all green. That's just me, though. Anybody else?
And trying to think rationally and practically, I think I'm going to put 11 through 8 yellow, and then the rest are green.
Whew.
But they're all green.
11 through 8 is yellow, the rest are green.
Yeah.
All right.
My 1 through 6 are green, and 7 through 11 are yellow. Actually, 7 through 11 are red. I'm joking, dude. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey, is anybody? We're looking for a new host for the show.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
To be fair, I'm very unprepared for the amount of what we're doing here, but let's do it.
Did you say 1 through 6 were green?
Yes.
And then the rest were yellow?
1 through 6 are green. I'm very utilitarian with my rankings today, for sure.
All right. Mark that so Zen will know. All right, let's just kick us off here with Bleach.
With Blech.
So I guess I have to ask, are we filling them all in right now? Or are we going to save a couple to talk about at the end?
Oh,
I don't know.
I forget about that. Let's do top 3.
Yeah, that's proportional, I suppose.
Okay.
Maybe you could go top 4, maybe top 4 even.
Yeah, we could do top 4.
Sure.
Okay, well.
All right. Well, it's not in my top 4. Is it in y'all's top 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be in my top 4.
Okay. All right, cool. I won't be the odd one out here. That's good.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I guess we didn't talk about how we felt for this band. I guess they're so omnipresent, though. It doesn't really
Yeah.
matter. I mean,
I mean,
I'm
I
sure.
told my story February of 1992. I heard "Nature Is a Whore" in headphones, and I've been a fan ever since.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. I did see the world premiere of the Teen Spirit video. And while I was not living in Seattle at the time, I was from Seattle. So I was very curious to like be discovering music and find out that a whole wealth of stuff was happening right down the block for me. And I had no idea. And then, yeah, February 92 would have been a birthday. And on that birthday, which was the day that Come As You Are was released as a single, I went to Peaches Records and Tapes and bought the long box version. And
Nice.
It turns out I actually have first pressing, one of the first 50,000 without the bonus track. I do not still have the long box, but I do still have the CD right here.
Word.
And yeah, so 13 years, 1992. Like it's a long time I've listened to this band, and they were there at a very formative age for me. Not only listening to music, but also just discovering that I liked playing music and listening to music and learning about music. Yeah, there's it was very influential on almost every aspect of my life, just because of the age I am.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
there's something about that 12, 13 year spot.
They're
I mean,
pretty magic, and we got lucky having a really good year.
You were like 9.
I was 9 when it was the video for Smells Like Teen Spirit premiere thing. It was on like the after school MTV live show or whatever. And it was dope. And I fell in love instantaneously. And that's basically it. I was already, however, listening to Faith No More's The Real Thing on a daily basis at this point. So for me, it was like it was dope to hear like a very pop metal kind of vibe is what I got from it, because I had no comparison to anything else other than like Megadeth, Faith No More, and Metallica. So to me, it felt like pop metal to me because I was 9, and it was awesome. It was crazy great.
Which I had like almost the opposite effect, where I remember the first time I listened to Nevermind would have been my first release. And I just remember getting really excited that there were still current punk rock bands going. Because I was already listening to like the Dead Kennedys and Black Flag and all that good stuff. And, punk is dead. So
I guess technically Nirvana would be my first punk band in a way, even though they go far and beyond just the constraints of what punk sounds like to most people. But
sure. Yeah.
It's close enough though that like when Green Day came out, it wasn't that far of a stretch for me to go from Nirvana to Green Day and then into NoFX and Rancid and then down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But in
They
1992,
embodied the spirit of punk and some of the music of it, honestly. But they definitely have their own sound as well. Like they're not like if you say a typical punk band, I wouldn't think Nirvana necessarily, but they're definitely punk.
You'll see that like when we start doing the years, because we're going to review 1990, 91, blah, blah, blah. I listened to music, but I didn't take music seriously until Nevermind. It wasn't until
I'll agree
when
with
I
that.
started paying attention to lyrics and getting serious about music. So, Bleach. I can't talk about it, but I guess you guys can.
I don't have much to say about it. I discovered it after, and to me it sounded like, I don't know, like somehow even poppier and noisier at the same time. I don't know. It didn't have the tunefulness that I was expecting at the age when I first heard it. I've since come to appreciate it a lot more, but my initial impression of it as a kid was like, nah, I'm going to stick with Nevermind. It sounds better to me. But there's some classic songs on here. I mean, About a Girl, Floyd the Barber, Negative Creep, obviously, is amazing. It's a classic, like, I don't know, like maybe the first post-hardcore record even. I don't even know, to be fair. It's really, really good.
I do remember the first time I heard Bleach because that was when you started. Oh wow, I've got this really great one. Went back and got Incesticide and Bleach on cassette and just had like all 4 of the cassettes. And that's all I listened to for like months. Those 4 cassettes.
Yeah, I don't remember like when I would have heard it first. Obviously, it would have been shortly. It would have been in 1992 is when I first heard it. And I still, this is probably the one I hear the most these days. Still, like out and about. The Melvin's influence is strong on here. Tuning down to C sharp, I think. Like it's a heavy, dense. Just deep record. It's also very kind of sparse. It really just is the 3 of them. Very minimal overdubs. There's it's a great album. It sounds great. It flows great. Every song is great.
That Jack and Dino touch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick a least favorite song on the album because they're all kind of your favorite, and especially on bands I like, I try to find like the song I like the least and work my way backwards. And even just looking at the track list now, they're all great. It's a really great album. I do have a single version. No bonus tracks or anything, just a regular old one. And yeah, it sounds great. It's
I've got a show.
Not as good as
Pine Street Theater 90.
Yeah, there was a deluxe reissue with the Pine Street Theater. And it sounds great. That's a great show. If you have the opportunity to grab Bleach with the deluxe edition, I highly recommend it. Like all of these, we're only given so many recordings, and they're all worth it. Even Montage of Heck, even though we're not including that one today, but but yeah, no, there's definitely value in everything, and the Bleach deluxe edition certainly proves its weight. That's a great show in front of like 12 people. It sounds great.
If I had to pick a least favorite song, though, it would probably be Sifting. If I had to pick it. And even then, that's still better than like 90% of what anybody else.
Yeah, I might agree with you on that, actually. Yeah.
Shout out of Mayberry for Joe for Floyd the Barber.
That's right.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. Well, if it's not in your top 4, where are you guys ranking it?
Colquitt?
5. I mean,
that's where I was putting it too.
Yeah. It's. I mean, as far as it. Never mind. It's a good record.
Good one.
It's a really good record. As somebody who was introduced to David Grohl on the drums through Nirvana, not hearing him on this really brings it down a level just for me, because I think Dave is such a phenomenal drummer.
But having Dale Crover on a track does help it a lot. So
yeah. Not hating on the drummer at all. Just not Dave Grohl. He's special.
The wrong Dave puts it number 5.
Yeah.
Dale. I'm not even going to click over to the next one because I'm assuming that's in everyone's top 3.
It's in. Well, I mean, we're doing top 4, right? So, but regardless, yes.
I mean, if it's not my number
4. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I could go ahead and just skip to From the Muddy Banks. Honestly.
Incesticide, Nero. We're just going to skip all those. Save them to the end.
Yeah.
Unplugged.
I mean, I can't talk.
That's in my top 4 as well.
Yeah, it's not in mine.
Oh wow! All right.
5.
There we go.
There we
There's
go.
the difference.
There's the line.
Yeah, there's the line. It's been crossed.
It's a good line though, and it's a very thin one, I might add. Very
I mean,
fine line, I would say.
I love it. It's great. The cover songs are phenomenal. Generally, I skip if I'm going to skip something, I skip straight to Jesus, Man Who Sold the World, and then Plateau. Oh Me is probably a top song contender. Where Did You Sleep Last Night is just fucking
It's so good people
heartbreaking.
thought it was an actual Nirvana song.
Dude, I had a friend that would do that at karaoke, like at 2:00 in the morning, and she killed it, man. Like that song's so good in every way. And when you hear somebody else pull it off, like, and there it's not, it's a beautiful song. All hail.
Yeah, Lead Belly is the shit. But it's hard for me to listen to this one because it just makes me sad. So
That's fair.
I put it at number 5, but it's still phenomenal, 100%. I'm sure we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So, Muddy Banks of Wishkah. I do have an original person for that one.
Nice. I have my Rinky Dinky CD version. But, you know, I have a CD version.
Yeah.
And if I find it on vinyl, like, I think I am in the market for ones I am missing here. So
I got it on eBay like in 2008 or 9 when you could get
the
records
good
pretty
years.
cheap. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's when I got Oh the Guilt.
That better be in your top songs.
We shall see.
Again, another shout out to Joe. I know this is one of his favorite Nirvana records, and if he was here, it would probably be in his top 30.
It's a good collection. Like, just as a set list, it's a dope set list, man.
The intro is just, oof, that's a fucking intro. There's all the hidden banter, which I think is on the vinyl too. Could be wrong. Just a side for it doesn't have anything on there, but I'm not sure if it's on there or not. Yeah, I mean, what else can you say? But it's got Spank Through. This is like the first official release of Spank Through.
Yep. It was my understanding that, like, you know, with Unplugged being a posthumous release, as was this, of course, the purpose of this was because Unplugged showed the softer, poppier, like, I don't know, acoustic side, I guess. That the main focus for these collection of songs and these recordings in particular was to show the noisy side of the band.
These are all bangers. Every single one of these.
Yeah, and these are all great versions of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most of them range from professionally recorded. There are a couple like not necessarily bootleg quality, but maybe soundboard quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great collection. The only reason why it's probably not in my top 3 is because it's not one show. It is kind of chopped up. Like, you get Chad Channing on here, and you get Pat Smear on here. It's a wide range, and all great recordings. And yes, find me a better version of Spank Through. Yeah, it's a great release. Great release.
Let me think about this. Where do I want to put it? Somebody else can go first.
Well, for me, it was the first like live recording of. I mean, no, it's not a bunch of. It's a mishmash of various shows and recordings, but like it was the first time I'd heard like I had a live CD of them that I had, because I wasn't a big bootleg guy, so I would just if it came out retail, I'd be like, oh, that's cool, get it, you know. So it's for me, it's special for that, and it's also just crazy heavy all the way through from start to finish. You know,
Where are you placing it?
7. Honestly, you know, I'm gonna put most of the live records into the yellows just because, you know, some people don't like live records, man. Some people just don't care for them. That's the only reason why I'm putting it there in yellow.
I'm gonna put it at 10 because it's not a full show. At the time it came out, that was really all we had besides bootlegs.
Yeah.
So it held a lot more weight back then. But since they've released these other records, full shows, it's kind of moved Wishkah down for me. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. It hasn't moved it that far down yet. I think it's landing at number 7 for me as well.
It's just got a nostalgia
if
for
we're as far, well, yeah, actually, I might already call a mulligan. Let's move that one down to 8.
Yeah.
Because it's a great collection of live stuff, but there are complete shows that are better as a whole. And this one, you know, does kind of focus on the hits. It's a great recording, though. It's a great recording, and I do think that you should hear it, even though I say proceed with caution on this list. But that's only because it's, you know, not a live show, but multiple live shows chopped together to make a really awesome live album.
that is one good thing about it, though, is you don't have to sit through the normal. I mean, they play a lot of the same songs, and this kind of like cuts. If you just want a variety of Nirvana live, this is a good one to get because
Sure.
Bleach did Utero on here, so. But I'd still rather have a full show. So, all right. Self-titled greatest hits. Yay, Courtney.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, technically you get the one brand new song. Oh, very nice. Very nice. You get the one brand new song. But if I remember correctly, there's actually 3 unreleased things on here that weren't readily available. Also, obviously, you know you're right. But isn't the Been a Sun an original mix? And then Penny Royalty
The
was
blue
an alternate
EP.
mix? Yeah, that's the blue EP, which
version.
I mean, yep. It was the first time I had heard that was on this compilation.
Cad's drumming on it.
And yeah. I mean, it is like I see they released an Icon CD as well, and so I'm sure this is better than that. But this does kind of scream greatest hits cash grab.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for those 3 recordings that I, as a collector, just wanted, I probably would. I mean, this will be pretty low on my list. It's if this is your introduction to Nirvana, you could do better. And if this is, and if this is not your introduction to Nirvana, and you already know what you're in for, then you already know it's just the hits.
But hey, if you're one of those Gen Z kids I see walking around wearing shirts, and this too, I'm okay with that too. But
yeah,
gonna bring it pretty low for me.
I've got a couple problems with this one. We'll get into this more when we do Blink. I guess we don't really cover greatest hits normally, but I hate a greatest hits where the track list is in order of release.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Make it special.
If you're gonna do that, you know you're right. It should be at the bottom.
But it was the single promoting the thing, so naturally it's track 1.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Second issue is this is missing some like pretty key Nirvana singles that.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
Where
Yeah,
You
like
Sleep Last
I
Night
don't
should be
see.
on here.
Yeah, anything off of Incesticide. There's no Dive. Oh no, I see Sliver. Never mind.
There's Sliver
Okay.
Been a Son, but yeah, Dive.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
is Drain You on here?
No.
Drain You's not on here. That was a pretty big radio single. They still play that.
Yeah.
So this one's gonna rank pretty low. They're all still 100% recommended songs. You know, you're right. Like I said in the other video, everyone was like, "Oh, there's a new Nirvana song coming," and I heard it was like, "This isn't new." I had already heard it, not this version of it, and this is probably one of the better
At
versions.
least it's an authentic Nirvana song and not AI induced or whatever.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's a good song. It's just I don't know if it justifies an entire CD purchase or vinyl purchase just to hear it necessarily. And there's other ways to hear it, obviously.
Yeah, even if you didn't, if you were just getting into Nirvana, I would say like just buy Nevermind or In Utero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That's why
because that's basically this whole thing.
Okay, cool. I'm not the only one going 11 with it. Yeah, cool.
It's at my
No,
house.
that's
just to be sure.
It's unanimous.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's not trash, but yeah.
Can't wait till we get to the artwork on that one.
Yeah.
Sliver. This is a big one here. This is so we didn't do the whole box set because we didn't think we could get Colquitt and Joe to sit through that much Nirvana. But yeah, mine's in storage. So we just cut it down to the best of the box, which is missing so many cuts from that.
Yeah. I did get a chance to listen to it again today. And it does have some good choices on here. But you could tell that a lot of these were picked as the best of because of what song it was and not necessarily, that it was in fact the best. So I would have had a different favorite track listing from the box set. And if we were including the box set, that would score much higher than this release. But that being said, if you don't have the patience for the box set, but you kind of want to get a flavor for what you're in for, this is a great primer. Right off the bat, though, like Heartbreaker, while cool, is definitely not the best of the box.
No, the sound on that was so bad.
Yeah, and to be fair, a good eighth of the box set sounds like that. To various degrees.
Yeah. That version of Sappy, though,
yeah.
Not the best version of Sappy.
No.
Rate Me's on here twice.
I do love Opinion. Yeah. Well, because it's got the one with Francis Bean on it as well.
Yeah, you got the demo, and then you got the
solo acoustic. I would have chose Return of the Rat. That's just me.
Mm-hmm. I would have put D7 on there. I mean, it does have Mrs. Butterworth, which is great, but I really was a fan of like the Token Eastern song. It's got Ain't It a Shame, but it doesn't have He Hung Him on a Cross.
Ain't It a Shame, though, is so
good. The box set is so good.
I was debating putting Ain't It a Shame in my top songs. Like, I just love that version. Kim sings it all the damn time.
Great song.
Do Re Mi.
Interestingly enough, on the box set, which it's not on here, but like I would think Marigold would have been on here. From the Heart-Shaped Box single, and also Dave Grohl's vocal debut.
The Guilt's on here.
Well, actually, he did sing a Scream song, but we won't get into that. But this is a different version than what was on the In Utero single, which I have here somewhere. Yeah, the Heart-Shaped Box single.
Oh, The Guilt's on here, Tim.
Oh, The Guilt is on here, and that is a great song. That, of course, had a vinyl release. That was a split with the Jesus Lizard.
Yeah. We need to do them one day, too.
Yeah, yeah, Jesus Lizard, for sure. Yeah.
Yep, 100%. And then we got to get into Tomahawk
Yeah.
and complete the circle there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great little 7-inch. I knew a kid in high school who had it on cassette, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So it was on my list of the things to actively seek out, and yeah, was able to find one. So
I had the CD single because it was in a paper. I think it was in a paper case.
Okay, like the sleeve.
I think it was. I can't remember. It might have been a Dinosaur Jr. single. Anyway, yeah, this is a good one. But it's hard to rank.
I'm putting it at number 6 just because I think if you do like this, then you should get the box set and this to be green just because of that. And it's like Incesticide Part 2 to me because I mean I haven't heard the whole box set, so like, but after hearing this, I'm more interested in going and listening to the entire box set. You know, it's pretty cool.
Gallons of Rubbing Alcohol's not on there.
Yeah, in fact, you guys talking.
It's a different version. Say it again.
Oh, I said you guys talking about all the songs on the box set that aren't on this make me want to go listen to the box set more, which also means that this is green as hell because that means it gives you a taste of what is on the box set that these gentlemen are telling me I should listen to, and you should too. Yeah.
I really tried hard to get them to actually do it for the show, but
maybe we'll do it for our 200th episode.
There you go.
I'll be honest, man. I didn't listen to 2 of these. I didn't listen to 2 of these live albums, so I'm gonna have to go with you guys' opinion on those and judge it based on that for sure.
Yeah, if there's anything we've learned over 100 episodes and how we're going to get better is that we still don't do any kind of planning usually, and we're just 3 old guys drinking and talking music. So, but no, our recording was all weird this week. So, I mean, I have 1 page of notes, so it's understandable if you missed a couple albums.
Yeah, and I've also spent the past day peeing out of my butt. So,
well, I don't think we need to tell everybody that.
No, it's okay. I have no shame. When people get sick, man. No sense in shaming.
I'm not sick shaming you. I'm just saying.
You are. You're sick shaming me.
Oh Lord.
Embrace my truth. Embrace my truth, Jason. All right, yeah. I'm not feeling well right now is all I'm saying.
I know what I'm using for the beginning of the video now, which clip.
Got to put a trigger warning on it.
All right, let's
do the slap on me. It's fine. We'll be good.
You heard that voluntary slap.
It's fine. I like it.
We got to stop all this because I don't have much time to edit. Now I got to edit more stuff. I got to go find my slap video. All right, let's rank this and go to a commercial.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to put it at number 7.
All right. I've already put Unplugged. I guess it's my number 6. Just because of what it represents, I guess.
Sure. And yeah, the box set would, as a whole, would definitely score higher for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna cut to a commercial.
I'm gonna go pee out of my butt.
Oh, I know who our advertisement is for this break. We'll be back.
Good luck up there today.
I'll need it.
What's wrong?
What if my diarrhea comes back?
Relax. You took my Imodium AD caplets.
Just 1 dose. I usually take the pink stuff 2 or 3 times.
Imodium AD is much better.
Imodium AD caplets are so effective, they often work in 1 dose. Instead of dose after dose after dose, like the pink stuff.
Okay,
Hello? Hi, hon. I feel great.
Imodium AD for diarrhea, the choice for one-dose relief.
Welcome back from that commercial break. I hope that advertisement can help you with any problems that may arise.
Kaopectate, man. That's what's up.
All right, we are now on to the live albums, starting with Live at Reading.
Amazing show, obviously well documented, well discussed. I have the DVD, but not in front of me. Yeah, this middle of the career, like they're already superstars, but the descent hasn't begun yet.
Probably one of the best openings to a Nirvana show, like with him walking out.
Sure. Yeah.
Getting wheeled out. Like,
it's Reading Festival, man. That's huge. You gotta come strong for that.
Yeah, they did. And what a great set list. I mean, busting out super deep cuts. You got D7. Money Will Roll Right In. You're not going to hear that anywhere else. The Fang cover, of course. Yeah, they're busting out stuff from Bleach. They're doing stuff off Incesticide. They're doing a couple things that are going to be on In Utero.
You got Tourette's.
Yeah, which that's the one that's on Wishkah as well, right? Because I think all three of these complete live shows have at least one track on the Muddy Banks album. So if you like them there, check out the whole show.
It has On a Plane, which is, I went through a phase of trying to find every version of On a Plane I could. Then found a lot more Drain U's than On a Planes.
Yeah, Drain You is such a classic song that's really kind of underrated. I can't say it's my favorite song on Nevermind, but it's possible it's the best one on Nevermind. But we'll get there.
It's a very, very contradictory and enigmatic turn of phrase you just did right there, Tim. It's very impressive.
That is also a fucking amazing version of Stay Away, too.
Yeah. And you do get Spank Through, which is always a classic.
I think D7.
This is a great show. It's a really great show.
Yeah, I know where it ranks for me. It's my number 7. I think this is when they were at that. This is when they were at their best. So
yeah,
and the track list alone, The Money Will Roll Right In, Spank Through, On a Plane, like hands down. D7. When I listen to one of them, it's usually
Territorial Things. Yeah. Yeah, it's my favorite of the live albums as well. And so it's going to be my number 6.
I'll put it at 8 because, like you guys said.
It's really good. It's great. It's great. Like, I'm sure
it's a good track list.
It's different from the vinyl, which is different from the DVD. The whole show is great, and whatever you find from it, like, this is peak Nirvana.
Mm-hmm. All right, up next we have Live at the Paramount.
Also known as the show where the Lithium video was filmed.
Yep.
Yeah, Halloween '92, I think it was. And the Paramount still stands. I just saw a show there a couple weeks ago. It's still a beautiful venue. And this, you could almost argue, is peak Nirvana as well. This is on the cusp of stardom. Like, they're not quite there yet, but man, it's coming. And another great set list. Also, like, one of the earliest versions you're going to find of Rape Me. And then, they're also doing Jesus Doesn't Want Me for a Sunbeam and Floyd the Barber. Like, that's a pretty cool set list. It's a pretty cool set list.
Oh, that version
So-
of Jesus too is fantastic.
Yeah.
So as a newcomer, I guess, to the live show and all the history, honestly, was this after Smells Like Teen Spirit or before that?
It would have been after.
After? Okay.
Yeah.
So it was like they probably had booked all these shows and they were bigger than the shows they already booked already.
This was October 31st, 1991. So it would have been,
So this is right as the album's coming
as
out.
it was.
Okay, all right. That tracks then. Okay. That's cool as
Yeah.
hell.
Okay.
That is an article of history right there. That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is an artifact.
Which is why the Smells Like Teen Spirit on here is really fucking good. Like before,
Because promoting it. Yeah.
he's not like fucking around with it.
It's still got the intensity that hasn't been worn out of them yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brazil,
No, this is
the
a
Brazil
real
bootleg. If you ever listen to that one, that's one of my favorites. That's like they don't give a fuck. Control the audience for like.
Well, to be fair, Kurt kind of never stopped not giving a fuck for the most part, I would say. Like he was always fucking with people. That was kind of his appeal. He was pretty badass about that.
That is true.
Axel.
Yeah, man. Genius.
Yeah, live at the Paramount again on a plane. Jesus Doesn't Want Me for Some Beat. Like the track list is one of the best versions of Endless Nameless, I think.
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
Yeah, this fucking they don't make shows like this anymore.
And the video that came from it for Lithium is one of their classic videos, full of early 90s grunge imagery. The Paramount holds a fair number of people, but it's not a huge venue. It's a theater. And I can imagine that place was just nuts that day.
It is my number 9. Still phenomenal and highly recommend, but I'll explain the other one when we get to that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there on number 9.
I'll quit.
Being very head right now. I apologize. Yeah, I mean, I'll put it number 10. Yeah, 10. Just because I don't just
cause
nothing.
It's only proceed with caution because it's a live show, and if
that's the only reason why anything's yellow is because it's live or a greatest hits that you don't need to buy. That's it.
Yeah, so most people aren't going to want to listen to like every live version of every song like some of us do.
Yeah,
That's
no, I mean, usually live records are for super fans. Like for real, that's why they exist. It's for the hardcore fans who love this band. That's
or
for
if 30 years ago you ran out of recordings and started having to mine what you had.
Well, yeah. Also, if you want to make money after the fact, yeah, it's not a bad thing to do.
These like 30th anniversary $400 record like I don't buy into that bullshit. But I will 100% support like they keep putting out full live records and official in the sound quality that these are. They're worth it to me.
Okay, so Live and Loud. This, of course, was filmed for MTV.
Yep.
For their New Year's Eve special going from 93 to 94. And
I remember watching this then. Yeah.
Yeah. And this, of course, is the full show. I think this came out with the In Utero 20th anniversary is where this whole show was originally released. And I think they're including it on the 30th anniversary that's coming out as well.
And that what does suck that 30th anniversary has the that set they did in Paris where Kurt's mic stopped working and Chris sings some. It's fucking hilarious. But
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't wait to hear that. That'll be great. So outside of having watched the broadcast 30 years ago, I hadn't listened to this whole show until today. And so I did get a chance to listen to it. And I mean, it's good. It's really good. I really enjoyed hearing Pat Smear play a whole show and what he was doing with Kurt on guitar. Like, there's a lot of really cool guitar stuff on this album. Dave Grohl comes out the gate too. Like, he's just on fire from the word go. The background vocals were a little off though in some spots. Sorry, Dave. It's an interesting version of Endless Nameless. It is a little different. But overall, yeah, like we're only a couple months away from the end. And I don't want to say you can hear it, but it does sound kind of lackluster. Some of the lyrical changes I enjoyed, you know. I always thought I had a sister, but instead I have a dad.
yeah, that is one of my favorite versions of Drain You, though, on the official.
Yeah. It's a really good set. Penny Royalty sounded really good. Blue
Radio
sounded
friendly.
really good. Yeah, it sounded really good. Man Who Sold the World, I thought sounded really good on this show.
Good.
It's full electric. Kurt even does some of like the stuff that David Bowie did that they didn't do on the Unplugged show vocally. So yeah, it's cool. I thought closing with About a Girl into Endless Nameless was a good choice. But like Come As You Are kind of sounded a little flat on this one, honestly. Like you could tell they were
honestly, it seems like they were trying to avoid most of Nevermind anyway. They don't even play Smells Like Teen Spirit on this. And Come As You Are, we're kind of just relegated to the end of the set before they play the cool shit.
Yeah.
We're in heart-shaped box territory now.
Yeah, this is very much an In Utero and oddities kind of show for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they still hit their normal school.
Mm-hmm.
Breathe,
Yep.
Drain You.
Yep.
Those are usually always.
Sliver sounded really good on here.
Yep, Sliver.
Yeah, I feel like Lithium and About a Girl are only on there because MTV was like, come on, guys. Come on, put them in there.
And there was definitely some of that going on. So
yeah.
Oh yeah. Was this the show that they filled in for somebody? Was it Pearl Jam or something?
Yeah. Pearl Jam was originally it was actually supposed to be a co-headlining thing where the two bands, you know, buried the hatchet because there was a feud there back in the day. If anybody cares to remember,
East Coast.
Oh, really? Pearl Jam had a feud with a band that was better than them? Shock.
Well, interestingly enough, I think Nirvana started the feud too. So,
well, as they should have.
It was because I think it was because of Versus. Versus was like beating.
Well, I remember Kurt saying in some interviews, like, you know, 10 was the only thing out, and he made some comments about how it was really just kind of put together by the corporations to sell flannel shirts. And
hey, look, guys, I'm not going to talk a lot of shit because I do like Versus as a record, but Pearl Jam is not anything other than classic rock revisited. Like, there's nothing very, very special about that band, I would say. And if you like classic rock, you'll love them because they're great. But there's not a lot there. They got better as they got older, but they also got more obscure as they got older too, which is weird. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up.
We'll get into Pearl Jam. We'll do them eventually. I like Pearl Jam. So.
You do? Okay. Well,
I'll need a special guest, I'm sure, to back me up. Shout out Adam. We'll be in touch. We'll have 2 drummers on the show then.
Well, then it'll get good.
It'll be a fucking disaster. You've ever had 2 drummers in a room together? Oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. You think guitar players are cocky about each other? No. there's this passive aggression that happens when you have two drummers in the room. It's fucking crazy.
Adam is a badass drummer too. So, I'm not saying
Whatever.
Tim's not, but
I'm just saying, if my brother was there, it would be terrible. That's all I'm saying. It would be an abomination. Because he's a really good drummer. A really good drummer.
Yes, he is.
He want everybody to know it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things.
we'll do a drummer special.
Sidetrack. Sorry.
Yeah, Live and Loud. I put it.
What's up, Dave Grohl?
Yeah, come on the show, Dave Grohl, drummer.
Oh,
Bait
God,
off.
Dave, please.
And we promise we'll only talk about the Pocket Watch tape.
I just want to ask him about touring as a hardcore kid back in the old days, you know, like the cool.
Sure.
All right, well, I put it number 8. I put it above Paramount only because I like the track list better. I think Paramount is the overall better show, but you get some good songs on here. You don't really get other versions anywhere else. So that's my spot.
Yeah, I'm putting it below Paramount. Although, hearing the full 4-piece with Pat on second guitar is definitely worth listening to, and I enjoyed that thoroughly. But I just think it's a better show at the Paramount.
I think the show's better at Paramount, but I think Pat Smear, it's Pat Smear, man. Big ups, number 9.
And with that, we go to our top 4.
All right. Should we go chronologically or should we go reverse chronologically? Or because it's basically like we have our own show now because we've got 4. We all have the same top 4. They're just in different spots.
I see what you're saying.
Well, no, we don't, because the line was number 5. Somebody has Bleach in their top 4.
Oh, you're right. I guess you should go first with that then, Jason.
All right.
Where do you put Bleach?
Bleach is number 4. I mean, we can all talk about it again because we kind of blew over it.
Hey, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I fucking love that album. I put it above Unplugged because it is a studio album. So
Yeah, that's fair.
that's the only reason. Unplugged has its place, has its time and place, and Bleach has its time and place. And I'm usually more in a Bleach mood than an Unplugged mood. Paper Cuts is a top song contender for me. That's my favorite on this one. Mr. Mustache. Swap Meet. The lyrics are so fucking funny.
I got to do a shout out to Big Cheese. That's probably my favorite. It's such a stupid song. It just works.
Yup. Big Cheese. Don't Mess with Mayberry, Floyd the Barber, another funny song. I mean, I fucking love this record. I don't know what else to say. It's my number 4. So what are you guys' number 4? Are y'all going to diverge?
Mine might be
here?
controversial.
All right, well, let's just go. All right, Tim, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is going to be In Utero.
Oh, that's really controversial. What the fuck, man?
Which I have a different cover. This is the 2013 remix from the 20th anniversary on 45.
So wait, what do you mean by remix? Is it remastered or something?
No, they remixed it. They got Steve Albini, I believe, to remix it.
Well, no.
Yeah, so he produced the album, and then they brought in other people to remix it because it wasn't commercial enough or whatever.
No, that's true. No, it very much wasn't. Yeah.
Right. And so, this was mixed by Steve Albini, June 4th through 10th, 2013. They gave him the master tapes. And this is the Steve Albini mix.
Oh, fuck, dude. I need to hear that. I didn't know that existed. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And you could definitely hear differences.
Pressing.
Okay. I'm definitely looking for an original mix on vinyl of this. I just haven't run across one. Maybe I'll pick up a reissue or something since it's coming out again, right?
Yeah. I wonder if they'll have those mixes on there because I didn't know that existed. That's crazy that he went back and touched it.
Well, and they're going to be in the Super Deluxe Edition. You can check them out there.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great album. It really is. I just think the other three are better. And I don't know how well this one has aged for me. I was a day one buyer, of course, so I've been listening to it a long time. But yeah, when I get into a Nirvana mood, this is one of the last ones I actually reach for. I always enjoy it every time I listen to it. And there are some top tier song contenders on this album for sure. But there's a couple that just never really worked for me.
Like what?
Like what?
Well, honestly, like Dumb. It's a good song. It just doesn't work for me. Same with Penny Royalty, honestly. I think that there are better versions of it.
Hold on a sec. I was on mute because I was coughing and my dog was barking, but let me go.
I do think like all the singles from the album are awesome. Penny Royalty is not my favorite though. But All Apologies is great. Tourette's is great. Scentless Apprentice is great. Heart-Shaped Box is great. Very Ape is great. Milk It is great. I just think the other albums are better.
That's cool, man.
Yep.
Different strokes, different folks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is it's a great album. I mean, you should definitely listen to it. It is a must hear in my top 4.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah. The top 5, I think, altogether should be listened to by everyone who likes music, for sure.
Well, sure, if they haven't already.
There's a lot of that happening, I think. It's
scary
I
remember 100 episodes. I remember 100 episodes ago when I first watched episode 1, and I remember just kind of screaming at the TV like, "You guys are wrong!" And so they, maybe I'm the one that's wrong, and all of these are going to be super hot takes. But I don't know. It's.
I mean, you didn't put Bleach over it, so that's
yeah.
not as hot of a take as
True.
we've had so far on this show.
No, that's true.
True.
I mean, my number 4 might be a hot take. In comparison to Tim, not so much. Maybe a milder take.
Okay.
My number 4 is Incesticide. Because as much as I love it, it is a B-sides compilation, and it is dope as fuck. And the versions of the songs on here are better than the like Poly New Wave. Woo, baby! I like that version so much better than the Nevermind version, man. I love that song that way. Molly's Lips is so good. Sliver is beautiful. Like, it's a killer thing, and I love it. It's just much like Tim. I just think that the actual studio albums are better. That's all. That's it. It's still amazing, and you should listen to it because it's dope as hell. Like, it's really good. Dive, man. Oh, dude, it's so good. Like, there's so many good things about this record. I mean, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow right behind you on that.
With number 3, that I think 3 is a good spot for it. It's probably a better spot than 4, but
I mean, it's everyone. We're all saying they're all fucking great. So
yeah, they are. They are all good.
To justify me putting it here, though, is to me this is a fucking album. Like, if there was ever a collection of songs that should have been a fucking record, it's this.
You want the best of the box set. Here it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because if these weren't good enough to be their own album, they would have been on the box set. But no, they're good enough to be their own album.
It has my favorite Nirvana song to play on guitar, which is Aero Zeppelin. Like, that shit's just fun as hell to play. Son of a Gun, Molly's Lips, top fucking top songs there. This I come back to this one a lot more than I do Bleach, so that's why it's here.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking great record. I was listening to Colquitt talk about it, and I'm like, what am I gonna say? And it's like, well, he's just kind of summed it up like it's just a fucking great record. There's nothing. What else can you say?
It's some of my favorite artwork ever as well. But we'll get to that in a later episode.
All right, Tim, what's your number 3?
Well, yeah, I think I'm going to be hot take city here. My number 3 is Nevermind.
I can't argue, man.
I mean, what can I say about this album? Really, it's only its personal taste at this point, because everybody said everything there is to say about the album. When I go to listen to the album, I pretty much just skip side A. I've heard those songs to death, and as great as they are, I really don't need to hear the studio version of Lithium ever again.
I'm with you, bud. I'm with you.
Yeah,
I agree.
I do too.
Yeah. That being said, I think side B is fantastic. I mean, the whole thing it's a great album. It's a reason why it's arguably the best album of the 90s. Stay tuned for that episode.
Yeah, like a decade from now when we finally get to it. Good Lord. We got to go through each year first. That's going to be a while.
Without giving away any spoilers, my top song is from the album.
Okay. All right.
It is too.
It is a fantastic album that takes me back to that first time I heard it on my 13th birthday. And yeah, I mean, it's a great album. All the singles are great. At the time, I definitely have all of them on CD, and because that's what us 90s kids bought back in the day, CDs.
Hey, I had singles at this.
I had a couple of them too.
Back cassette singles, Teen Spirit. He stole
it. In recent times, I've also picked this one up. It's the vinyl box set of all the singles.
That
get them all on 10 inches.
I wish I
That's
had
cool.
that.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, this is really cool because all the B-sides here are fantastic. And again, going back to the box set, if you look at the sessions for this album and everything that was attempted, man, there's real magic going on. A lot of great stuff. Old Age, verse, chorus, verse, sappy. Yeah, go find the Hormoning EP too if you can. But I skip side A.
I mean, honestly, those songs also ingrained into all of us. That it's totally
yeah. I don't need to hear them again because I hear them all the time, constantly.
Yeah,
that's
just fair. In my own head.
That's fair.
But really, if you haven't heard Nevermind by Nirvana, you should.
It's true.
Do yourself a favor and go enjoy music.
Yep.
And I'm gonna follow suit and put Nevermind at number 3 too. Honestly, I love Butch Vig very much. Like, he makes this band sound incredible, way more so than I ever thought possible. Especially going back and hearing Bleach after the fact. Like, I think this is stupid. It's a great record. Every song on it's awesome. I agree with Tim that side A, man. Something about it, man. The 4-way felt the 6-way. Territorial Pissings all the way down to Something in the Way are just emotional, impactful, just knock you on your ass in a way that I didn't think. this made me feel things I didn't know I could feel because I was so young when I heard it. And that last half of that record like takes you there, man. It's so good. And then the secret track, Endless Nameless. So good. Like it's great. But honestly, like, and this all has to do with age, honestly, because if 20 years ago I might have said differently that this was number one for sure. But I have heard Smells Like Teen Spirit. I've heard In Bloom. I've heard that entire side A so many times. Breed is really good because it's not a single, but it should be on side B, honestly. Like they should just put all the singles on side A and have side B just be this wonderland of goodness. But yeah, it's so good. Still amazing. Debut of Dave Grohl and Mike is just a killer record, man. Killer record.
All right. I think it's your turn.
Rotos.
Yeah.
Who's first?
I think it's Cole Quid, isn't it?
No, are me already? Plugged in New York. Unplugged my number 2. I am not an aggro guy. Like, I love aggro music, and I listen specifically to music that is aggro if I feel like being aggro. I've definitely got a very strong hippie-ish, like folksy, chill dude inside me, man. And I feel like a lot of the Unplugged records, like, I'm not a huge Alice in Chains guy, but their Unplugged record is literally one of the greatest things ever recorded. It is so good. And there's something about this era of Unplugged records that's just phenomenal, man. I mean, even Eric Clapton had a good one, and fuck Eric Clapton. So that's how important this was, you know? It was like,
he's not an aggro guy.
As an old man now, I go on this, like, I've got a Zillennials and Millennial subreddit, you know, like a Do You Remember subreddit that I go to. And it's weird how important the Unplugged aspect, that series of videos and shows through MTV, like,
whole,
so important, like, seriously a big fucking deal. And this record in particular, holy shit, man. Like, I knew who the Meat Puppets were, you know, but I didn't expect to see them, you know, hanging out with Nirvana, playing their songs with Nirvana, you know, on live TV. Same goes for hearing, like, honestly, I think this might have been the first time I heard David Bowie. I wasn't conscious of David Bowie until the Man Who Sold the World came popping up on my stereo, you know, like, it's just a very important record to me. And also, man, say what you will about Penny Royalty, Tim, but this version of Penny Royalty brings me to tears every 100%. Fucking time. It is so good. I would say All Apologies is my least favorite song on here, is because of the same reason why the first half of Nevermind's not my favorite. It's just so ingrained in my consciousness due to it being a single that it doesn't work for me. But dude, Jesus Don't Want Me for a Sunbeam. I know that's not a Nirvana song. It's Vaseline's, right? Is that who did that? Yeah. It's just so good, man. Everything's good. Everything on this is good. Like, I have no other words to say about it. Hearing Dave play, and I know I harp on Dave a lot. I'm not even a huge Foo Fighters guy. I just think Dave Grohl is the shit, honestly. But hearing him play brushes on stuff, man, the man is a talent, a very, very important talent. Just there's so many good things on this thing, and you should check it out. It's so good.
Get Chris on the accordion.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and the strings they bring in too, like, it's just it. And I remember I go, like, reading about articles about the filming of this and how important the stage setup was to Kurt with the candles and making it look like a funeral is also adds another element to how, because you kind of knew it was coming at this point when you saw this. You knew this was not.
Every cover is about fame, death, or both.
It's very tragic. It says everything about the ending of the band very well, and in such a way that I'm getting, like, a little teary just talking about it. Might be the cold medicine. I don't know, but I'm literally welling up a little bit just talking about it. I love it very much.
With all that, this album too, the set list is fucking punk rock.
Oh no, it's so good.
He had to fight them, like, to get this set list. Like, they didn't want fucking the Meat Puppet songs. They didn't want the covers. They wanted fucking Teen Spirit. And he
Yep.
gave them Come As You Are, and he gave them All Apologies. But other than that, you know, the version of On a Plane is
Great.
fantastic.
Yep.
Oh, and where did you sleep last night? I mean, come on.
I
Come
can't.
on.
I can't. I don't make it through that song without just fucking losing it. Like,
Yeah, man.
it is so emotionally powerful. His voice.
The cello kicks in, and you're just like, oh, I can't handle this, man.
That's why I have to put it down so low, because it's a hard record to listen to for me.
Oh, see. Well, I mean, I'm the guy who put Adore so high when we did Pumpkins, so I love that vibe. I'm about it. If I'm not crying by the end of a record, it's still a good record, probably, but you know, I'm a wuss.
I'm gonna follow right up with my number 2 as well, since we're talking about it. Yeah, it's not the one I reach for either, because it is kind of difficult to listen to, but that doesn't stop it from being, you know, arguably one of the best Unplugged albums ever recorded from that series. And you mentioned the other two that I would put up there. The Alice in Chains might be my favorite by them, and that Eric Clapton CD. Oh man, is that good?
I'm gonna put LL Cool J over Eric Clapton. I apologize.
Ooh, okay. Well, we'll get there then.
Pearl Jam's Unplugged is really fucking good too. Just saying.
Who?
Come on, man. Tears in Heaven? The new version
Are
of
you baiting me? Are you troll baiting me right now, Tim? Is that what's happening? Are you literally just trying to get me to say something viral about Eric Clapton's coke snorting fucking piece of shit fatherhood? You're a bad father.
That was in '92. We'll get to that when we go through our decades, and we'll see how far Eric Clapton makes it up the.
Jesus, I forgot.
Up the meat machine.
He made a compelling argument. I might have to vote for it, so I don't know. We'll see.
I think that the Meat Puppets section is the highlight of this show. All three of those songs are just incredible. And yeah, there's a lot of emotion on here, and the performances are great, and the sound is great, and the track list is great. Like, you guys have said it all already. It's if you're in a quiet, somber, relaxed, hopped up on cold medicine kind of mood, put it on and just enjoy life.
If you're at a shitty coffee house and you hear one of these songs pop on, you know. If you know, you know.
I agree with what you said earlier too, Colquitt, about this is the best version of Penny Royalty. It's possibly my favorite version of Dumb as well. Like,
yeah.
Something in the Way is great here. Great here.
Even Come As You Are.
Come As You Are is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's another one I need to get on vinyl because it is that important. And
whenever I have disposable income and inflation drops a little bit and I'm starting my vinyl voyage, this will be in the top 10 I get originally. Like, I'm definitely getting this first.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, it's a 2009 press. So when I first, the year I started really collecting vinyl was 2009, and you can tell what I went for first.
Sure.
I would be disappointed if you didn't, Jason, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like me not getting Siamese Dream or Melancholy on vinyl originally.
In high school, you were the Pumpkins kid, and I was the Nirvana.
Yeah.
Well, and I got to shout out my friend Carl, who has an original 94 press. That sounds fantastic. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of Nevermind,
I love them.
you guys said a lot of my complaints with it. Again, though, like, there's not a bad song on this. It's fucking one of the greatest records ever recorded. I'm opposite, though, with Butch Vig. I fucking love Butch Vig, but I don't think I think he hindered this record, and I know Kurt wanted that, but
Yeah,
I prefer the sound of In Utero more.
I do too.
So that's the only reason In Utero or Nevermind is number 2. But like you, I usually skip the first 3 tracks. I'll usually Breed, Lithium. I'm fine with Lithium. I'll listen to any fucking time, and then it goes into the rest. But if I never hear Smells Like Teen Spirit again, I'd be okay, you know. So
Yeah.
great
I mean,
fucking song, but
it's basically Boston anyway. I mean,
with some Pixies thrown in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Big riffage
It's
though,
more
man.
than a
Life
feeling.
changing riffage for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a fucking important record. Probably the most important record in my life. So, but I'm putting
Yeah,
number 2.
I've got 3 really important records. This is one of them for sure. My top 3.
It's probably in my top 10.
I'm going just by importance of cultural cachet in my life. Like that record opened doors to other things that I would not have maybe heard otherwise. Honestly,
All
like
right.
Pixies. I didn't know who the Pixies were. I knew who the Breeders were before I knew who the Pixies were, which is ironic as hell. Just due to my age and
Same. I knew who the Breeders were before I knew who the Pixies were.
Yeah,
I
it's
remember
wild.
we're gonna cover the fucking Pixies because I fucking love the Pixies. So even some of their newer stuff's pretty decent.
Oh,
Anyway,
cool.
we'll let Tim go first since he's the outlier.
Yeah, man. Incesticide, my buddy. I love it.
I mean, I don't care what anybody says about it not being like a real album or whatever. And yeah, there's like 4 different drummers on here, and it's a whole host of recording sessions, but it doesn't matter because every single one of these songs is so good. He started at the beginning, Dive and Sliver. You know,
2011.
yeah, it's you start with this guy, and then it just goes from there. I love Stain. I love Been a Sun. That's top tier Nirvana. The Devo cover, Turnaround, is fantastic. Molly's Lips, also I'll cover, also top tier Nirvana. It's so good. Son of a Gun, same. New Wave Polly. Is it better than the original? Maybe.
I think it's better than the original, and I think I think it's better than the original. Yeah.
I think
Either way, it sounds like a band having a lot of fun playing a song.
Yeah. It's fucking fun as shit.
Yeah. And then you get the second half of this guy, starting with Beeswax. Oh, so good. And then Downer, which is a bonus track on the Bleach. Mexican Seafood, Hairspray Queen, Aero Zeppelin, Big Long Now, all amazing songs. And then you close with the best version of Aneurysm ever recorded, which that's also top song contender. Like, it's just nothing but insanely good song after insanely good song. And this is the album that I reach for whenever I want to listen to Nirvana and I don't want to go digging through my best of the box set. I just put this guy on. And when it's done, I kind of ask myself, well, do I want to listen to side B of Nevermind? And then based on that answer is where I go next.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is the one. I think it captures every aspect of Nirvana, other than the acoustic one, but that's okay. But yeah, every sound you get, like the big Bleach era metal kind of inspired Melvin stuff. You get the super poppy like new wave almost stuff with Devo and Polly and Been a Sun. Like, you get the hooks, you get the hits, you get the heavy, you get the punk. And it's got Dave Grohl and Dale Crover on here.
Mm-hmm. The best
I
of
don't
both
need
worlds.
anything else. And yeah, Kurt did write the liner notes here. They put this together like with full sequencing, with the full intent of, it's not our next studio album, but here's an album's worth of stuff for you since you like our band so much. If you like our band so much, check this out. And if
Didn't
you
this
don't like,
come with the
stop
lyrics
listening.
I'm sorry. Didn't this come with the lyrics and Nevermind in it too?
No, that would have been the Lithium single.
Okay, all right. Okay, my bad. I was just shocked that they put that in a single or an auxiliary release. I apologize.
Yeah. Well, that was part of the selling point of it because, before the internet, people had a hard time understanding what Kurt Cobain was singing about.
Yeah,
And
Weird Al's entire homage was about how he couldn't figure out what he was saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you open up the CD single, the inside has the Nevermind lyrics.
Got you. That's awesome.
Fucking insane. There was so much worse than Kurt. I don't know. I understood Kurt. So,
Same. But, that was just part of the deal back then.
yeah.
And the record company ran with it. So,
In fact,
sell us.
Smells Like Teen Spirit taught me words I didn't know.
Yeah.
He had a very good vocabulary.
Mulatto? What is that?
An albino? A mosquito? I knew what a mosquito was, obviously, but...
All right, I'm going to
I didn't know what a libido was.
I mean, that's where I learned it. I didn't know. I mean, I was prepubescent when that shit came out, man.
Sure.
I didn't know.
I think I was pubescing.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
All right.
I love this fucking record so goddamn much. Like, see, like, I love Nevermind. I loved it a lot, but this hit me when it hit me, and it because I was 12 when this shit dropped. I was ready for something more aggressive. I think I had heard Minor Threat by now. Like, I'd started investigating actual punk rock and actual heavy music that wasn't Symphony of Destruction or Metallica, so like when it just opens up with just rage and anger, and it's just the lo-fi recording. I know that Steve Albini doesn't like produce this record, but in a way, his lack of producing this record was a production of this record, because there's no way the record label would have been like, yeah, Nirvana, go ahead, make the dirtiest and most aggressive and abrasive recording you can possibly make in Chicago. Go for it, guys. Like, that's insane to me. And this record just kills, man. Just stomps on your, just like, there's a scene from The Simpsons where I think it was Bart was in love with like this older girl or whatever, and there's a scene where they're in the treehouse, and she's breaking up with him, and she goes, "You won't need this anymore," and rips into his heart and rips it out and kicks it out the treehouse. That's what this fucking record does to me. I love this album. It is so good. What about you, Jason?
It's just okay.
We'll see if it makes the top for 94 or 93. 93. Never mind.
Yeah.
We'll see if it makes the top of 93.
I think Serve the Servants is their best opening track off any of their albums. Teenage Angst has paid off well.
Statement.
Now I'm bored and old. No, this is way better than Teen Spirit.
I mean, I was referring to Blue, of course.
Oh. Yeah. No. Sinless Apprentice, Heart-Shaped Box, Rate Me, France. I mean, there's 12 top song contenders right here. I like the version of Penny Royalty on here. It's not the best, but it's fucking very ape. That again, it's got that Nevermind, 6th track is slow, 7th track fucking rocks. Very ape fucking rocks when you flip that cassette over.
Sure.
Yeah, like this is it's gonna make it in the fucking 93, Tim. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the format finally will be when we get to the final part of the yearly ones, but you'll have 2 votes for that record for sure, Jason.
We'll push it up.
We'll see what it goes up against.
It goes up against Clapton's Unplugged. Oh no.
That's a tough vote. That's a tough vote.
I mean, it would go up against Siamese Dream too. In fact, like I would say between these 2 records, like I would put In Utero on for the most of the daytime. When it got to be kind of dark and chill vibes, I would put Siamese Dream on. And then occasionally I put Counting Crows, August and Everything After on there too. But it was mainly those 2 records for sure for me. I love them.
All right. So yeah, this has been our second ranking. We would like to give a big shout out to everybody who has subscribed over the last 100 episodes and liked our videos and left us nasty comments. We just, we got a special channel on our Discord for that.
I mean, obviously the person's never going to see this because they hated us so much. But if you're the guy that went on the Doors subreddit and gave us grief for merely posting our review of that band, go fuck yourself. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Did I tell you guys we got banned from the Doors Reddit?
Yes, you did. I mean, to be fair, that's probably a lot on me.
No,
because I was the negative Nancy on that video very much, and I apologize.
Yeah,
that's just our
possibly manic. I was also possibly manic, so I want to apologize. They're better than I said. I was a dick.
I mean, who cares about a Reddit? The reason the mod said was nobody cares about your podcast. Well, 214 people do. So fuck you, Doors Reddit
that's
mod.
right, 214 people.
Actually, I think it's 250.
And I also got to give a special thank you to Joe and Ed for helping be a part of these 100 episodes. It's a real shame that the 5 of us couldn't get together to just, talk a bunch of smack about these albums. I was looking forward to that. And to Jason, who's been there for all 100, what the 3 of you guys created and that we are continuing is a lot of fun, and I look forward to it every week. And, here's to 100 more.
Yeah. I want to thank Joe and Ed for having real lives and not being able to do this, because it allows me to come and join. And I was so thankful when Jason asked me to join. It is so much fun hanging with the 2 of you. I look very much forward to the next 100 episodes of us talking shit and having a blast and living our lives. Love you
when
both.
We'll be up to 216 subscribers.
Yeah, hopefully our it'll balance out. Like we'll the more episodes we make, each episode will have a new. If we just hit like 1 billion episodes, we can actually quit our day jobs.
Yeah. Get to recording.
Right.
All right.
That'll work.
And a shout out to all the special guests we've had and all the ones we got coming up too, because we've had some really cool people on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out Sage Francis.
Yeah, thank you all.
Yeah, dude, what's up, Sage?
Yeah.
Jesus, that was crazy. We're still waiting on that dog to holler.
Yep.
I'll holler at us.
And Dave Grohl.
And Dave Grohl.
And
Stephen King.
And Eric Clapton.
And Eric Clapton's dead.
I'm going to edit that one out.
You're the one that went there this time.
With that, be safe, make good decisions.
Unlike me, apparently.
Watch